Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well and I hope you're all having a good week. Well, today I am having a bit of a no-show on my videos. I've just recorded a whole video for you on making cream of parsnip soup and the video didn't record the sound because I didn't have the microphone switched on. So I've got to do it again. Anywho, most of the footage is okay. Just a sec, let me sort myself out. Most of the footage is okay, but you're just going to have to put up with me doing a voiceover on the bits that don't show me. So I've recording the beginning again. It's one of those days, I think. The dog's not well. He's hurt his foot and he's trying to play as best he can with a sore leg. So we're not having any stick walks today. He didn't have any yesterday and he's not having any today. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you my craft table that I've been restoring and doing up to have in my craft room. So I've just done some video footage for you of me sanding it down and painting it, what it was like before and what it's like since it's been done. So that's going to be in this video. And also we are making cream of parsnip soup. So we're using this book. I've used it before, Feeding the Nation book, and it's by Margaret Patton. Now, there are two recipes in here, but one uses bacon rind, and I don't have any bacon rind. So I'm using the recipe that doesn't have bacon rind. It says it'll serve 6. It's this recipe here, and it's cream and parsnip soup, as I say. It's vegetable stock, parsnip, leek, teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of salt, some pepper, some flour, some household milk, and 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley for the top. It takes about 20 minutes to half an hour to cook. And yeah, I haven't made it before, but I'm pretty sure because of the flavour, I was just checking the dog. I could make it with Jerusalem artichokes. So I'm going to try making it with the parsnips. And then in another video, the dog's messing about. In another video, I'll do the Jerusalem artichokes if the rats haven't ate all my artichokes. So we're going to go in the kitchen and we're going to sort out the parsnip soup. And on the stove here, I've got some orange marmalade, and that's coming up in a video on Sunday. Again, it didn't record the sound for the beginning. I can do the voiceover for the bits that you don't see me, so that's not too bad. So we'll do that for Sunday's video. But for today, we're going to do the cream of parsnip soup, as I say. I like the sound of this because it doesn't use cream, it uses milk. And I can use almond milk instead of dairy milk, which is what I'm going to put in it. So if you're vegan, you could still make this soup and just put almond milk, soya milk. Soya milk's not very good at being heated up. It can curdle. So be very careful with soya milk. But you could use almond milk. You can use any nut milk. You could use oat milk. You could make your own nut milk with oat milk with some porridge oats. So yeah, just use whatever you've got in the cupboard. That's the whole theme with this Make Do and Men wartime theme and the wartime challenge, is that you just use what you've got in your cupboard. So I'm going to go over to past Hazel now in the kitchen, and we're going to get on with doing the parsnip soup. So I'll see you in the kitchen in a minute, and then when I come back, I will see you at the end, and we'll have a taste test and see what it tastes like. So see you in a minute. Face at the window. He's like something out The Shining. Look at him. Can't understand why he can't come in. That's the problem. He doesn't want to be out there. Can you see his little tongue hanging out? Here's Stripey. He's such a drama queen. So the recipe calls for grated parsnip. So I've done it on the cheese grater. I'm just chopping my leek to be a similar size to what it is in the frying pan. And then that'll cook all down at the same time. And it should cook down to about the same texture, really. So I'm just chopping it finely. I'll be back in a minute once it's all chopped. Right, so back at the stove, and I've put my pan on. The stove's been on for a while. It's been on for about an hour. And I've added to the pan a litre of water, but the recipe did call for 1.5 litres, but my pan's not big enough. So I've just added 1.5 litres. I'm just going to mix everything in. and we're going to start adding the seasonings in. I did add a bit of celery because I don't want to add salt. I don't like adding salt to things, so we just added a celery stalk just to add a little bit more flavour and add a little bit of a saltiness to it. Right, let's get on with adding the seasoning. So I'm adding my pepper. I always like to add pepper to things because it adds, especially soups, because it adds a nice warming flavour. Excuse me, I've got the dog around me while I'm doing the voiceover. So yeah, as you can see, I add quite a bit of pepper. Next, we are adding some Marmite. I love Marmite. I add Marmite to everything. It's a great all-round stock. It's a vegetable stock, so it's great for vegans. And you can also eat it off the spoon as well. And it's a great multivitamin. It's loaded with vitamin Bs, B vitamins. And yeah, it's just a great addition to your diet. I add it to curries. I add it to casseroles. I add it to soups. Bolognese, pretty much everything really. It's just brilliant. It's a great stock. Right, so just mix all that in together. Get it all mixed up. So next I'm adding some coriander leaf just to add a little bit of a lemony flavour to it, just to lift the flavour really of the soup. I'm also adding some chives that are from the garden. I got them last year, I think. I dried those out. I didn't do any this year. But yeah, we just add in, it's just a teaspoon of each, a level teaspoon of each. Mix that in. So what I am going to do is I'm going to add some butter. A knob of butter will just add a nice smooth texture to the soup. And we don't use much butter in our house, so a war ration would go a long way. So I can afford to add it to my soup. Yeah, so that'll just cook down nicely. Right, so I've come back out in the garage and I've been sorting out my craft room, and I've decided I want to put this table in my craft room. As you can see, it's got a big blob of paint on it. So my husband's lifted the sander out. It's an oscillating sander. I'm going to give it a good sand on the top, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with it. I'd like to leave it as wood, and then I'd like to paint the legs because the legs have seen better days as well. But I'll decide that once I've done the top. It is a gate leg table, 1930s, I think, reproduct 1930s original. I have got another one in the house, but my husband's got that. So this is going to be ideal for my craft room. I think looking at it, I'm going to do the top like I've just said, but I think the legs need a paint because the legs are a bit worn, and I think they need sorting out. So I hope the sound's all right because I've got a new phone and I'm using a new phone and my ordinary microphone, so I hope everything's okay with the sound. So yeah, what I'm thinking of doing, as I say, is sanding the top, keep leaving that as wood, and painting the legs at the bottom, and then that'll go in my craft room. I think it'll be big enough for doing sewing and things like that on, felting and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so this is the sander I'm using. It's an oscillating sander, and this one is by Einhell, and I've got a 60 grade sandpaper on the doodah, and this is my table. Right, so that's the top done. I'm now going to do the legs, and I've got duck egg blue, and I've got that also in Rust-Oleum paint, and I'm going to pop that on, and there's a brush already in the tin as well. So I'm just going to paint the legs, paint all the base, giving it clean, and then when it's dry I can get it upstairs. What I have found as well is this really old tin of furniture wax that was in the garage, and look, it's still got some in, and it smells delicious, so I'm going to use that as well. And yeah, it looks a bit battered, but at least it's had a life. It's not brand new. I knew it wasn't going to look perfect. So that's the nature of used furniture. So right, that's that done. It does need another coat, and I do need to turn it upside down, but I want to wait until the top's dry, and then I'll put something underneath it, turn it over, and paint all the underneath, and that'll be done. So yeah, really pleased with it so far. I think it's looking really good. I think it's going to be really nice in my room, and it'll be a lovely work table to work at. So I'll show you when it's finished. Right, so it's time to do my stock, and I'm just going to get my corn flour. I always add corn flour to everything. I'm going to use almond milk as well. I just find that almond milk is better for me than dairy. I have a dairy allergy, so I'm not going to put a lot of milk in. It says 1/4 pint, so that's what we're going to pick. I'm using my Pyrex jug just to mix it down. And then we are going to add our corn flour. I always use corn flour instead of flour. I prefer it. It seems to make a better stock than flour, and it doesn't have that floury taste to it either. I find that flour makes it a bit thick, but we're just going to add that rounded spoon. And I'm going to whisk it to make sure it's all well mixed. You could use a fork if you haven't got a whisk, but a whisk works just as well. Make sure it's all well mixed in together. Right, so I'm back at the stove, and I've just come to add my stock. I'm going to add some hot liquid into my stock so that it'll blend in nicely with the soup. My mum always taught me that you don't add cold into hot, you add hot to cold, and then that thickens it slightly while it's in the jug. And then you can mix all that in together and then add that into your soup, and then you're adding warm to hot rather than cold to hot, so it won't go lumpy when you add it, so it's a lot easier. Right, so we're just going to mix all that in and then leave it to thicken for a little while. I try not to use metal spoons, I try to use plastic spoons in this pan, but we'll just mix it until it's well mixed, and you may need to add a little bit more water if your corn flour goes a little bit thick, but other than that, that's pretty much done. I'll leave it to thicken on the stove for about 5 minutes, and then I'll serve it up and we'll see what it tastes like. So this is the table all finished. It's upside down because I've been painting the legs and that on the bottom. Stripey decided to put his own little mark on, so I've left it. I thought that was rather cute. He's got his own paw print on there. So let's turn it up. Done all the underneath. Just a sec. So there we are, it's all done. Nice white legs. There's a few marks on the top where the sander had to get some paint out, and some bits of veneer missing, but I think that just adds to the look of the table, the fact that it's been used and the fact that it's being given a second lease of life. So pretty happy with how it's turned out, so I'm going to take it upstairs and pop it in my craft room. So this is my freezer, and I want to try and get it sorted out for Christmas because I've got a lot of stuff that I want to get. I've got turkey to get, and I want to get some bits so I don't have to go shopping over Christmas. So I'm hoping to get it sorted out. So I need to sort out the food that's in here. There's soups in here. There's some kidney for the dog. There's Wilton pie mix. There's all sorts of stuff in here. In fact, I think I'll let that out because I'm going to make some Wilton pie tea tomorrow. There's some apricots as well. There's apples in here. There's all sorts of goodies in here. I want that. I want a bag of this for the dog, for his tea, because he's feeling a bit under the weather. Poor little mite. He decided to do some... Oh, I'm a bit close there, aren't I? He decided to do some jumping this morning, and he's hurt his leg. So he's in bed, soothing his wounds. But if he doesn't get any better by tomorrow, I'm going to have to take him to the doctor, the doggy doctor, because he's a bit sore, I think. But we'll see how he is tomorrow. If he needs to go, I'll take him. But at the moment, he's just resting in his bed, and hopefully he'll be all right. So I'm just going back in the house, pop these in a pan, and we'll see what else we can get on with. Right, so my soup's ready. It's all nicely done. I added a little bit more water because it was a little tiny bit too thick. But the recipe did call for 1.5 pints of stock, and I only added 1.5 litres of stock, sorry, and I only added a litre. So there was a bit of room there for me to add a bit more water. And we're going to go and serve it up. It looks lovely though, doesn't it? Really nice. It's got a lovely texture to it, so can't wait to try it. So I'll see you in the kitchen in a minute. Right, okay, so it's time to do the taste test. The soup's finished, and let's see what it tastes like, shall we? This is what it looks like inside, in the bowl. All the shredded parsnip. It could have done, I think, with a little bit longer because the vegetables are still, what do you call them, al dente, where it's still got a bit of texture to it, which I don't mind because I quite like raw food. But yeah, let's have a taste. That is really nice. Really, really nice. It would go with Jerusalem artichokes. They would go really nice in there instead of the parsnips. But yeah, cream parsnip soup, absolutely delicious. It'd be lovely served with some nice homemade bread and butter. A hit. I'll definitely make that again. You can taste the celery, which is nice. It adds a nice winter warming sort of texture. Lovely, very nice. I'll definitely make that again. But the next soup I make the Jerusalem artichokes. As I say, if I can get to them before the rats get them. On another note, we've got the stoat back, and I think that's made the rats go in their number, whatever they were in, they were here in. They seem to have disappeared. So I think the stoat is frightening them off. So that's good. He came back about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I found the remains of a rabbit up the top end of the garden behind some sticks, and yeah, it was just really odd. There was just the leg, a bit of rib, and a little bit of skin, but the actual thing had been stripped, completely stripped bare. And the only thing I can think of is that it was the stoat. And when I went over to see under the chicken run, it was the telltale signs of a stoat having tried to burrow underneath their run. So every time I find a hole, I fill it up to stop him getting in under them. But yeah, he came back. So maybe he was off on his summer holidays and he's come back here to overwinter in the garden. So that's helpful with the rats. That is very helpful with the rats. I don't mind. And the chickens aren't coming out at the moment because there's a fox around as well. 2 days ago, there was a fox 2 mornings on the run in the field at the back here. And the dog noticed him and was barking at him. And this fox was playing in the field. And when I was coming back the other night from somewhere, I can't remember where I'd been. I think I'd just been to the shop. No, I hadn't. I'd been to the church to sort out the Christmas tree. And there was a fox running up the road in front of my car, just down the road here, about half a mile away. So I'm not sure if it was the same fox. So the chickens are under house arrest at the moment in their run, just to be on the safe side. But they can't come out in the winter anyway, between October and April. They have to stay in a sealed run. So yeah, they're under house arrest at the moment. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my video. That's all my waffle for today. Hope you enjoyed the cream and parsnip soup, and do come back on Sunday and we'll be doing the marmalade recipe in Sunday's video. And next week we're going to be Lord Woolton pie with a twist, and that's going to have pastry on the top and have chicken in it. So yeah, I'm just using a piece of chicken that I've had left over in the freezer, trying to empty my freezer for Christmas. So do come back for that next Wednesday, and we'll do Lord Woolton pie with a bit of chicken in it to make a little bit go a long way. So yeah, I'm going to go. Stripe's waiting to say hello. Do you want to see Stripe? Come here, Stripe. Come on. Oh, here he is, my big boy. There he is. He's being very sort of mummy-ish at the moment with not being well, with having a sore paw. He just wants to have lots of cuddles and lots of fuss. He doesn't really want to play a lot. He thinks he does, but then I throw something gently for him, just close, so he doesn't have to run far. And he just looks at it, picks it up, and then goes off and picks the lid up and sits in his bed. So he's really out of sorts, but he's getting better. I don't want to take him to the vet unless I have to. But you're beautiful, aren't you, darling? Yeah, you love your mum, don't you? You're a good boy, aren't you? So yeah, me and Stripe are just going to go up and see the chickens and give them their breakfast. And then we're going to go for a little walk along the road just to stretch his legs out a little bit. Nothing too strenuous. Are we, buddy? Yeah, I love you too. Thank you very much. Mwah. So yeah, we're going to go now. Me and Stripe are going to go. We're going to say goodbye. And that's him off. Yeah, we're going to say goodbye to you and go and get on with our day. So we'll see you in the next video on Sunday for the marmalade recipe and what other shenanigans we can get up to. I might take you for a walk because the weather's nice out there. So when we go for our walk down the river, I'll do some footage for you and put that in the next video as well. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye. If you'd like to support me on my channel, do support us by liking and subscribing to our videos and hitting that bell, and that'll tell you when I upload new videos. As well, we would love to if you could buy us a lovely cup of coffee or Stripe a doggy ice cream so we can go to the cafe to upload our videos, because at the moment I have no broadband at all here whatsoever for uploading videos. I did a scan on the line the other day and it said no upload speed. So at the moment it's taken me about 4 days to upload a video. So if you'd like to support us by buying us a cup of coffee or Stripe a doggy ice cream, we can go to the cafe and upload the videos in 10 minutes. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your week and I will see you on Sunday. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.